This is the exciting part of the show here, the financial results. It's a pleasure to be here today. So sustainability is not just an objective, but an organizational obligation that we take very seriously. Only through financial sustainability can we drive our organization's impact in safe technical systems everywhere. Financial sustainability allows us the resources to hold responsible those who choose to operate outside the safety system. For 2015, in the electrical industry, for example, we issued 47 warning notices, 29 compliance orders, and 8 sanctions to better level the playing field. Being financially sustainable means we can fund educational programs to help equipment owners stay up to date and be aware of the hazards in their aging equipment. It means we can research and share data so construction companies can determine the best methods to fix known safety issues. These, of course, are just a few examples. When we optimize costs and run efficiently, we can fine-tune our services to better serve client needs and keep ahead of forces that impact us beyond our control, like the economy and housing starts, and ultimately to do more to affect safety in British Columbia. So, as mentioned earlier, BCSA is a self-funded and independent organization. We receive no funding from government. Our revenue comes from permits, licensing, registrations, and certifications. And much of our revenue is tied to BC's economic conditions, which fortunately have been strong recently. When the opposite is true, we must withstand economic downturns while still living our mission to build confidence in safety systems. We do this by keeping our financial reserves at a healthy level, being adaptable in our budgeting and our cost structures, and being on top of our financial performance. So looking at our financial results, our revenue, in 2015, we generated over $51 million in revenues. Now, this was 10% above what we had originally budgeted and 11% growth over 2014. When you look by technology, which is what this graph shows here, the largest was electrical, followed by gas, boilers, and elevating. You see at 20, 18, and 16% respectively. The other technologies, passenger ropeways, amusement devices, railways, and alternative safety approaches comprise the rest of the revenue. The main drivers of this revenue increase were the continued boom in the housing market, which I think we've all seen. This was a major driver of permit volumes, and this was unexpected in our budgeting process. There has been a continued capital project investment in British Columbia. There are over $75 billion in active capital projects in the province. There's been growth in all regions across BC, and in particular Lower Mainland North, so that's the north of the Fraser. They had the largest revenue growth with $2.3 million over our budget, or a 15% increase. That area covers downtown, and so it's not surprising that elevating revenue was a large driver there. A lot of buildings going up with elevators. So compared to 2014, the average permit value increased by almost $10, so reflecting the underlying value of the construction work had gone up, and also our permit volume had increased by more than 12%. So we budgeted to a conservative outcome of conservative landscape, and it was exceeded by the economy. So looking at investments, so what this allowed us to do was to advance some investments related to our tenure strategy and our business plan. So we were able to invest in a stronger IT team and in additional safety officers in the field. We also purchased new vehicles for safety officers, and we opened the Langley office, which is a merger of the former Abbotsford and Langley office. And this brought together those two offices in a collaborative space and at a lower overall cost. So moving to operating expenses, in 2015, our operating expenses were roughly $50 million. As we are a service organization, our salaries and benefits form the largest part of these expenses at 68%. So we have over 330 employees serving clients right across BC. Looking at a net basis, our excess of revenue over expenditures was more than $1.8 million. And this allowed us to bring our operating reserve back above our sustainability target, which is 15% of annual operating expenses. So I can say that we We had a good year in 2015, and we're in a good position to have a balanced budget in 2016. So as we think ahead, we will continue to challenge ourselves when it comes to finding efficient ways to provide services. We will continue to invest in client education, expanding the number of clients that we serve, and looking at the types of online services that those clients can take advantage of. We will continue to develop people within our organization, be it leadership abilities or technical skills. So that brings me to the end of our key financial findings. I hope this provides a starting point for our discussion on BCSA's finances and how they relate to technical safety. Happy to answer any questions during the Q&A, which is later. And now it's my pleasure to introduce a joint video presentation on operations and technical programs, and it's narrated by our very own Brian Rowland, VP Operations and Service Excellence. Thank you.